I'm sure you've seen this by now, but I just had to comment on it myself because I think this is absolutely hideous. That is my opinion, and it's not only my opinion, but a lot of other people's opinion. And I don't have to tell you what that looks like. Now, that is only from one angle. If you look at it from other angles, obviously it doesn't look like that, but it's still not a good sculpture in many people's opinion. And this says horrible new sculpture unveiled in US City. How was this ever approved? And how was it? I don't believe for a second that this wasn't done on purpose. This is from the Western Journal. I will put a link in the description if you want to read it for yourself. But it um, says just in time for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the city of Boston, which is interesting too because Boston is where SatanCon is going to be held. The city of Boston has unveiled a new sculpture meant to honor the civil rights leader. Does that look like honor to you? Like that picture that I showed? Does that look like it honors anything? Well, maybe something, but not Martin Luther King. It says, according to WCVB TV, the statue was revealed on Friday in a ceremony attended by dignitaries and members of King's family. The outlet described it as the largest monument in the country dedicated to racial equity. You would expect a moving and inspiring monument, perhaps something akin to the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. Yeah, you would expect that, but that's not what we get today. Just like I said in a previous video, they can do anything in the name of art. And, you know, oh, this is modern art. Well, it's not good. And I wonder too, they say that Martin Luther King was a communist and a womanizer and all these bad things too. But something that he did speak about was character over color. And was his death a symbol of, well, we're going to kill that and we're going to bring in color over character because that's exactly what we have now. We have, the president picking a vice president because of the color of her skin, not because of the character of her being. Jen Psaki stepped down, and so they had to bring in a woman of color. It had nothing to do with her quality, it had to do with her color. And see, we've gotten rid of that. We've killed that dream, and we've put in this ideology of color does matter. We don't want color blindness. We want people to see color. We want it's all by design, I think. Instead, we got this tribute to one of the most famous Americans in history. That's the unveiling. So I'll just go ahead and play this short. And like I said, that's a different angle, so it looks a little different, but it's still it there to me there's nothing that looks good about it at all. And it says WCVB reported that the sculpture, called The Embrace, is meant to portray the moment when King hugged his wife after learning he had won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, and to commemorate his connection to Boston, where he met his wife while studying at Boston University. Yeah. The reaction online has been mainly negative, and as it should be. This one says, there's a sculptor somewhere giggling uncontrollably. Yeah. This says, should have been lovely and inspiring. Instead, it's hideous and depressing. Exactly. A sculpture of Dr. King himself, and even him and his wife, would have been more or most appropriate. Exactly. They met in Boston. This embrace sculpture is very weird and does not represent the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's borderline disrespectful. I don't think it's borderline, I think it is, but she says, fire whoever did this. One Twitter user joked that the sculpture could have been created by a white supremacist in order to denigrate MLK's legacy. Well, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was fake at first, like a racist wanted to mock MLK. And the article says, frankly, it would not be surprising if that turned out to be the case. King was one of the most significant figures in the history of this country. He helped America deliver on the promise of its founding for all citizens, regardless of their race. This monument captures none of that. Instead of a proud tribute to an American hero, we get a mangle of twisted forms that makes no sense and tells us nothing. American heroes from George Washington to MLK deserve monuments befitting their contributions to this nation. If we cannot give them that, we risk losing any pride that we have as a country. Yeah, well, pride in this country went out the window. Real pride, not the rainbow stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. I think this is absolutely on purpose. This was there's no way that they don't know what that looks like to people. As always, put your faith and trust in Jesus, repent of your sins, and have a blessed day.